Okay. In theory, you're back. I am climbing hills there. This is not going to be a thin piece. This is going to be like some of the junk that folks that didn't have no turkey roasters made. Maybe. Maybe not. See, I really would like to be using the leather, but because I could get a little bit better length on some of these, but I'm concerned about. See, I ran that one obliquely to try and shoot it down a ridge that was there. I would be concerned about creating big hinges because of the toughness of this material if I try to do it on leather. So I mean, I'm still concerned about that, but okay. See the power in this flake? It went real low and it ran more than halfway across, and it's going to create a balance issue for me to correct with the rest of it that's higher, but it was good for one flake. It's nice and thin there. I did a lot of thinning with one pressure flake. I'm going to try and extend the benefit of that. Okay, you see those two flakes? Hello, are you there? That's what you kind of want to try and do with some of this stuff. And I'm wedging it real tight. That's edge is kind of close to center line. I'm wedging it real tight and not letting it move. And I'm scooping in like the world's most frozen ice cream. Those three flakes, 1, 2, 3, are kind of like my redeeming. Oh, I bent my flaker, and that's hammered. So it was tough, but maybe I'll bend it back the other way with this one. Man, now it's slipping off. I got that edge real strong, but when it slips, regrind and refile. And don't push in too hard. See how big this notch is? I'm still not breaking it. Watch. Now I probably will. Okay, finally got a flake taken, and it ran 3/4 of the way across the face of that. Can you see these 4 flakes and how much lower that middle is now? Don't let it move. And push hard. And maybe make you a leather thimble or something if you're going to anvil with a finger on the back side of that push. Because that's a good thing to do to get run, but it's a bad thing to do if you want to have a complete normal finger. Because with me, you know, sometimes it'll be like push, push, push. Ah! It sounded like some Lamaze class thing. And I mean, I went to Lamaze with my wife, but I don't think it helped. All right. What can you see? Nothing, because the sun done messed up on me. It's actually a pretty decent looking preform right there. I mean, if I just threw that on the ground, y'all look at it and you would say, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good rock. But the difference is, see, it's concrete here. I got one layer of convers on concrete and I threw that down on the ground. And the sad part is I wasn't even the slightest bit concerned that it would break, and it didn't. Practically a pretty rock if it just wasn't so salty. Salty and sandy. I really, really, really wanted to flute this. And I mean, I could use some basal thinning. It wouldn't be harmful. I mean, it's not like I was going to mount this on a piece of river cane in a socket. I got funkiness on the end, though. It's kind of like a waffle. A waffle? A waffle-ended. This was the waffle culture. Now I'm starting to sound just silly. I don't know what to do because I run that thing over there and after I do it I feel like I didn't accomplish nothing. I'm going to take a couple more flakes and then I'm just going to try somehow to flute this just out as a matter of principle. It'll be a technological flute, a technological fluting even if it isn't a morphological fluting. Yeah, I said it. Crap. Yes, I'm going in an oblique angle. Once you get a little bit of convexity established, sometimes if you shoot them obliquely, get that little slightly flatter convexity and everything. That just really likes it. Another thing that really works sometimes is to roll your wrist a tiny bit. I'm not going to get off into that today, though. That's a whole nother thing. See what those flakes did? Bam, 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 bam. Isn't that groovy? Yeah, I said that too. I'm a child of the 60s and 70s. Well, and the 50s, but I don't count them. Alright, so I got a little divot on this side and another little thing and a little divot over there, so I'm going to actually, even though it's closer to that side, I'm going to turn it up a little bit that side and do a couple of isolations and shoot something there, which won't go that far because this comes up a little high and it sinks a little lower right there. This is going to be a sort of a token basal thinning. Man, it's bad when you can't even set up the fluting platform. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm going straight down, not on any support, because I want it to be as short a bevel as it can be, otherwise I lose too much length when I turn it the other way for the other side. So I do that, and then I come in the middle of it, kind of, and skate an abrader across it, and I look at where it is, and I want it about halfway between an imaginary center line and the face. If it's out to the face too much, it's going to be a real thin, skinny, thin flute. If it's down toward the center line too much, it puts too much downward pressure on it when you hit, and you're likely to get a bending force on it and snap it. So that's about where I want it. So now, I want to put a little bit of a bevel on that platform by putting this at an angle. I'm not going straight across it, I'm angling this up. And right in the center there, kind of put a little bevel in it and try and get a little 45-degree kind of angle on it. So now I'm going to sharpen this a little bit and take a couple of isolating flakes. I'm going to figure out where I want my platform to be. I'm going to go to the side of it and flake outward a little bit and just break that thing, and it divoted on me. It didn't do much. Didn't go very far. That one's better. Dang it. And partially because this is so beastly, I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to come in those isolations. I'm going to flake inward on the isolations a little bit. And what that does is it cuts off the back half of the platform to move the platform outward only and create knife edges on either side of it where it'll break. All of which is probably a bad idea in this situation. And you say, why is that? Well, I probably shouldn't have isolated it that well because tough rock. And since it's a tough rock, if I want to run the flute very well, I might want the flute to not let go too easy. Because since it's a tough rock, I'm not going to get that big a bulb anyway normally. And it's not like I'm trying to make a real thin balsam or anything. I'm not going to run this flute very far because it's going to feather out right in here. The reason is because the contours are different. Okay, so I'm wrapping this up and holding it just like that. I'm going to hold it with those two fingers. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch because I'd like to use a bigger one, but I hit it on bare copper on it. On the 1/4 inch I'm not. And the Delrin helps cushion it and deliver it a little bit longer so I don't get it too much force too fast. Put that on there like that and hit it. And look at that puny little stupid flake. Oh my gosh. I am the most embarrassed I have ever been in my entire life. What to do, what to do. No, you can't do that, Jerry. Yes, I can. No, don't do that. Yes, I'm going to. No, it's gonna be a problem. Don't care. Yeah, stupid thing. I knew it was going to do that. So the first one went to there, and then that next one chattered in like that. So, and in part, here's the deal. You say, why did that happen? Well, it's like this. And the rock is so tough. The slower the force goes in, the better. So you're like, well, what are you going to do now? Well, that's running right out there and being a problem. I'm going to try and go out on that ear and shoot alongside it and hope for the best. Is it likely to work? I wouldn't bet money on it. Does it matter incredibly? Well, yeah, because it matters to you, so it matters to me. This is a little hard to hold the right way, but okay, so I shot by it, and it went all the way down to here, which is about as far as I could have gone with fluting anyway. And it didn't make things worse. And I need to turn it the other way to do something on this side into that concrete anyway, which is another failure incipiently happening to wait. Wait, let me say that again. Another failure incipiently waiting to happen. Now I might end up with an ultra short fluted point here. Out of this game. This folly. This is folly, Molly. Hey, everybody's always talking about building nipples and fluting platforms, that kind of crap. What if I just hit this thing twice on either side without doing anything platforming wise? Is a flute if you didn't make a fluting platform? I see these debates online. What's a flute? Well, it's simple. A flute is what I make on my points, and a flake is what you make on yours. Right? Right? Okay. Didn't do anything other than turn it. Gonna hit twice. Maybe 3 times. Dang! Okay, you saw it. I hit 3 times. I took no flakes. What I get for getting cocky, huh? So now it's all damaged. I'll be double dog danged. Okay, so, see, nobody's going to know this was pressure because, you know, it's taken so much force to do this that the stuff is running pretty good, so nobody will know. It actually is hard to do this. Okay, so let me show you what I did. Pressure flake down to there. I mean, that was as hard as I could push. That'd be like a 2-inch flake on some of that good Pedernales stuff. So then a pressure flake down to there. I'm trying to pick that off. And I've showed you this trick before. You know, people say, oh, well, people insult my intelligence. They're like, oh, well, you know, he puts hinges all over stuff. Watch. Hinge is gone. Yeah, like I can't get rid of hinges. Okay. But I don't like that. See, it feels like a concavity there, and I didn't raise it enough. That is just gonna break off and look stupid. Where is the... I'm trying to bring that back toward the face to, or back toward the middle to try and address the... This is real dicey, y'all. This is real dicey. I'm gonna go with the big punch because even though it's, I'm hitting directly on the copper, I'm using the wood bonker and it's slower force. I'm trying to get slower force. Okay, this is what I've done, and it is not pretty. How much I jammed into my leg and how much I got support there too matters. Bam! Look at that. Is that not the prettiest channel flake you ever saw? Look, touch it. Go ahead. Man, Clovis City. Yeah, better. Oops, I dropped it. Oh, it's fine. I was worried. Oops, I dropped it again. Oh, dang. Let's see. Ah! Hang on, I'll be right back.